Hello. How you guys all doing? Thank God it's Friday? Yeah. I thought yesterday was Friday and the day before was Thursday. My week is all messed up. But we're here, Friday, finally. How are you doing? I like pretty normal, I'd say, like pretty standard fare. I don't think I have anything like new to report in like the I section. It's still the same. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a bit relaxed. I got a lot of stuff done that I really wanted to get done today, so that was good. How about you? What about you guys? What do you think about the recent The Boys episode? I have not watched it, honestly. I got kind of hooked on Invincible, and I'm not done yet, but I'm still going through Invincible. I forget what episode and season I'm on. Yeah, just monitoring BI. Howdy, sir. I started my first board this week. I think it went all right. I hope it went more than all right. Did they mention dry eye to you? No, they didn't say that. I mean, actually, no, they did say there was a possibility, but very unlikely because I see floaties. That's it. It's Saturday in Vietnam. Holiday here. Like holiday for the Saturday or just like a long weekend you guys have? Also, hello, Wild. How are you? Also, hi, Autumn. How are you? Invincible's good. Invincible's so good so far. I'm going to be pretty bummed when I have to wait for the new season, though. But there's also a few other shows. There's a few other ones I want to watch. There's From, the new season of that. But I do kind of want to wait till all the episodes are out for From. There is JoJo. Haven't finished that yet. The Boys I haven't finished quite yet either. Gen V, I'm done. I feel a little dissatisfied because now I've learned there's going to be no extra season past what they already have. But I guess it is what it is. I don't even know what to think about that one there. Just started JoJo? Or, sorry, I just started. Yeah, I mean, I started a while ago. Mobland real good? What's Mobland about? Hope you're well. I find out today whether I get a job in... I hope you do. That's big news. Gen V ending is fucking awful. It just... To be fair, I'm not giving Gen V any credit or discredit or anything like that. Personally, I think if they were just to let it have one more season and wrap up some loose ends there, it would make more sense. But it doesn't make sense because it kind of just feels like end of a season, we're waiting for something else. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm a little bit dissatisfied with it personally. Good. I mean, I liked the season. The season was good, though. Season 2 or whatever it was. It is kind of a Disney Channel ending, a little bit. But again, I feel like it's just supposed to be for something else and we're missing stuff. Whatever. I'm not super pressed about it. I haven't started that new Star Wars show. What is it? The Darth Maul one? Is that any good? I've heard that's like really meh. Mobland has Tom Hardy in it. Oh shit. Wait, what's it on? Can I tell you something? Of course, Hudson. Prime? Dude, there's a lot of good shit on Prime recently. Also, hi Jishi, how are you? By the way, I should probably put up a counter. But I was going to do, if you guys, I don't know if you guys wanted to do this today, or maybe wait till tomorrow, I have no clue. But I have a keyboard if we want to do, I'm going to do some scattered giveaways. So actually here, let me just announce what we're going to be doing. Over the next month, so starting today since it's May 1st, I'll be doing like scattered giveaways where if we hit like a certain sub goal, we'll give away a keyboard. I'm going to keep them mystery keyboards. That way there people can have some fun entering for things. They're all good. They're all fantastic. There's going to be some brand new kits and there's also going to be some random kits. But basically if I announce one and we kind of put up a counter for 50 subs, we'll do a giveaway. So we getting gaming keys today? Yes, the Hyzen. We're going to go over that. That's going to be a fun one. Hold on, let me set up this like giveaway something. But yeah, scattered giveaways throughout May. I did promise you guys a few. And I was looking through some stuff today and there's like I said, there's like brand new kits and I'm just like, dude, why am I not giving this to someone? Let me set this up actually. Well, I mean, shipping's never going to be free, unfortunately. Shipping is always tough everywhere. Actually, dude, I saw some I'm not gonna like say it's not warranted, but man, sometimes I don't know what people expect for shipping from small businesses. Like, it can never be free, you know? It's just literally impossible for shipping to be free sometimes. And I don't know what people are expecting from certain vendors and whatnot. I don't know. All right. Put it up on the screen. I don't know why it says 1,000. It should be 50. There we go. Also, looking forward to the tofu pad. Yes, I'm thinking about doing that Sunday. Shipping being free is essentially making a loss. Yeah. Giveaways do start today, yeah. When am I doing that board? I know that board just literally got shipped to me. I will tell you when we're booked for it versus when we actually build it. So that should be the 7th. So in 6 days. We'll see if it gets to me by the 7th, though. It should, realistically. Hi, Jedi. And yes, giveaways do start today, yeah. What I meant was, if it's mystery, we don't know if we use it. Oh, I'll let you guys know ahead of time, like to the person who wins it. But just for when people actually, like, you know. We can always redraw it, too. My brother is going into the military. We watch your streams. His name is Jaden, and he is going to the Coast Guard. Can you congratulate him? Congratulations, Jaden. That's big. So is this, like, something you've been kind of looking forward to or, like, gunning for and just got in? That's huge. Congratulations, dude. It's always something, like, get something you've been after and, you know, working towards. Congrats. Sweet. I'm waiting for the... Is it Jaw Rod again? I was forget. Review before buying. I'm excited for that one there. That's going to be a fun board. Okay, dude. Okay, I kind of do want to jump in today's stream for a number of reasons. I am also with you. So this is the Lofree Hyzen. I have never... maybe that's a lie. There's been maybe one or two other boards. But I have... It's been a while since I've seen this many advertisements and almost reviews for a keyboard project or product, same thing, in a long time. Lofree has made this product called the Hyzen, and it is very interesting. They did send this unit over today. It is a sponsored stream. It will not stop me from being honest. I already have a few little notes about this project. Stuff that I think is just more surface level. I think until we actually see it, I won't know. But until then, let's see. Dude, they not only went hard on ads, I feel like there's just a lot of people who got to look at this. Let's start looking at it. It should, yes, Oz. I'm new here, I've been looking into keyboards and want to ask, what is the best bare bones full-sized? I still think either the Athena or the Neo 98. I don't think there's a whole hell of a lot of great options at the moment. Maybe one of the QK series, if they even have them. Okay, so the Hyzen is Lofree's newest gaming project. Here's the hard shell case for it. It is quite unique, actually. It is, you know, it's weird. Like, when I look at it, I don't think gaming. I kind of just think of, like, fun board. But it has a lot of gaming components on the inside. Mainly, it has TMR. And if you guys aren't aware, there's TMR and there's Hall Effect. Hall Effect and TMR both use magnets. TMR is technically, the gist of it, more power efficient. From what I also understand, I've never really looked at a TMR board. You can also use MX switches with TMR. So before we even open it, that's one of the standout features of this board. The board also has some interesting price points. It is going to be on Kickstarter. Think of what you will of Kickstarter. If you've had bad experiences with it, then, you know, it is what it is there. But I've ordered one or two things off Kickstarter over the years. It's been fine. So, I don't know. Like, use your own discretion when it comes to Kickstarter. I think it's no different from any other vendor running their own projects. So, what happened? Did I miss something? What did I miss? Evening, Mr. Toes. Thank you, Ray. How are you? Oh, spamming? Oh, okay. But yeah, so pricing is the follows. They have Kickstarter early bird pricing. It is going to be $189 on Kickstarter. However, after the Kickstarter or group buy, it's a group buy. It's essentially a group buy. After it's done, it will be $279. Quite the jump in price. I think for $190, so $189, this is going to be quite the competitive product to look at right now. For $280, we can look at it from both ways today, which I was thinking of. I even have a note here on my screen saying, look at it both ways, Alex. I want to look at it both from the $180, $190 perspective and $280 perspective. We're going to see. Now, I guess let's just jump right into it. I don't think I kind of want to go through the webpage because I kind of feel looking at the board today is going to be way more fun. Also, again, dude, this desk pad's driving me nuts, but it always does. This is the most out there case I have seen for something in a hot minute. It is... it is cool, but also looks a little bit more impractical, but cool. It is a very unique case. It wowed me when I first took it out. I have yet to open this thing, by the way. It kind of looks like something like a VR headset, right? It doesn't really open super duper well. All right, is it going to be like a crazy unboxing here? Oh, it's upside down. Well, how is I supposed... Oh, there's a Lofree logo here. God damn it. There's like cardboard particle pieces everywhere too. Well, I will admit, the case has lost some of its luster now that I can't really open it very well, but... Alright, well, the case just broke. The zipper wouldn't pull back, and I'm not about to fiddle with it for the rest of the stream. Alright. Well, damn. Yeah, I know. I'm dead. Me too. The zipper not doing well. It wouldn't pull back all the way. But, oh well. It is what it is. So we got some accessories. We have more accessories and the keyboard. Yeah, I guess, okay, in theory, this is a cool case. A little impractical, though. No. Definitely wow-worthy. Doesn't really open very well. Kind of a struggle. I think it's because they have this, like, little... Let me show you guys. They have this, like, barely available space for this little cord to go through. So, I don't know. Let's take a look at the actual keyboard, though. You're not the only one who's broken the zipper. They're going to try to fix it, I read. Damn, more people than me broke the zipper? That's not good. Okay, before we look at this, I'm actually kind of excited to look at this. This is a CNC keyboard from Lofree. It's, from what I understand, a single piece of aluminum, so I'm guessing this is a unibody case. So the price point, about $190 for me, is making a lot of sense right now. However, there's a lot of stuff inside here that I think make the $190 price point feel very, 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 very good. Almost like a steal. But let's take a look. You know what? Visually, right off the bat, I like it. This is cool. Again, I've already seen tons of photos from everyone else looking at this, but yeah, I like the aesthetic of this a lot. The anno looks really good. I'm going to peel off this sticker here. It's nice, right? It's a nice looking case. The keycaps, probably little to be desired here for me because I'm not really into these clear keycaps. But here, if you guys want to see from a closer look, this is nice. It's a very high typing angle. It's 12 degrees. I've typed on things like this. I can tell you right now, it is extremely fatiguing to type at 12 degree typing angle. You're going to have to really, really, really want to type that way. And you're going to have to be comfy with 12 degree. But, wow, this is something. This looks great. Here is the side profile. Ignore the aluminum's cold right now. Little toggle here on the side too. Here is the bottom of the board. Clean. They have the USB-C recessed in this little port in which they've also, I guess this is a plastic shroud on the port They've also managed to hide some of the legal stuff on the inside here, which I think is super duper smart. And when I saw this, I really wanted to comment on that. And then this is some more legal stuff, but it's done in a way where it's a little tougher to see. Ooh, my camera didn't like that. A little tougher to see here. But this is neat. They got a volume rocker. Ooh, nice clicks. With a, what is this? Another knob here for some different versions of the keyboard here. So wireless, cable, and off. Although they labeled it WLS, off and cab. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't like the label names, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Damn it. In the front, we have this really cool LED bar where they've hidden designed by Lofree, and I don't even mind that, man. That looks really, really clean. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And this does have hidden screws, in which you can see right over here. So a hidden screw design, which we're going to be tearing open the case as well. The depth of the keycaps is tough.
Alex. Thank you for all the great streams.
Thank you, I appreciate it, man. Very, very cool. Keycaps look good too. The feeling is very, very smooth. I'm not the biggest fan of like transparent, icy looking keycaps personally. I kind of like when they're just a solid color, but I don't think they're taken away from this board. The only thing maybe I'm not a huge fan of is this little blocker thing over here. I think that's, I mean, I guess it suits the keyboard a little bit. I would have actually preferred this being like straight black or something like that, you know? They're removing the Hyzen logo on the case and keycaps, by the way. That's really smart of them to remove it on here. Where on the back? I don't even mind it on the back. I really don't think it's that bad on the back here. This is like one of the few times where the company's slogan or logo or brand name or whatever you want to say isn't that bad. I don't think it's that bad though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to miss it if it's gone. But like, I really don't think this was terrible. I think the word shift tones keep focus is awful, but the word Hyzen could have stayed here. Because they don't have, I mean, other than this little really hard to see one over here, they don't really have the word Hyzen anywhere. Oh, I don't like the Lofree logo here. They could have removed, are they removing this? They could remove this. This I don't give a shit about. Is this the thing they're going to remove? Hope they remove this one. This is actually a really cool side profile. They are going to remove it. Perfect. This is a cool side profile with the knob too. Damn, they didn't send me any of those notes. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Well, I mean, we're going to just go through this and say what we like and don't like. What else? Visually, I think that's it for me. It's a nice looking board. Here's the fun part about this board though, which I actually think is such a good idea. They have this really, really crazy front height, or not front height, this crazy type angle, but it's done in a way where I guess it makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I think the type angle is my preferred, because it's definitely not. Like 7 or 8 degrees is 100% my max before I say I don't like this keyboard. What I really like though is they've implemented this bar on the top, right? It's not a touch bar or anything like that from what I understand, but it's really just to give you indications for when you hit like function and then, you know, clicking other things. It is a really, really cool way to kind of remind you which keys are what. Like it's nice. Like it changes too depending on what you have. It tells you some stats of the keyboard as well, so it'll have battery life and then your wireless signal and stuff like that. So I think that's awesome. But the reason why they've done 12 degrees, from what I understand, is so it's easier to look at those pieces on your desk versus something that is not, like something that's 8 degrees, because it might be blocked off from the keycaps. Is the 2.4 flashing? Oh, it's flashing because it's probably waiting to connect. That's probably why it's flashing. Genuinely, I think it's a smart idea. I just think the implementation with a 12-degree typing angle isn't my cup of tea. Apparently, if you hold function while the function dial is on, there's a third macro layer for brightness. Is there? So nice.
Sup cutie.
I'm not sure, but as you can see, you get a whole bunch of options here. So wait, what did you say? Apparently, if you hold function while the function dial is on. Oh, hold on. You mean like this? Maybe I'm doing that. I'm doing that wrong, probably. But yeah, pretty cool. What's clacking? How are you doing, Alex? Also, Coma, thank you so much for the tier 1. And Reinhold, thank you so much for the Prime for 20 months. Maybe I'm misremembering. No worries, no worries. So, other than visual aesthetics, a few things I did want to mention about the board from some stuff I read and just looking at the board and whatnot too. The other main attraction to this, other than TMR and the price point, and again, I'm kind of just going over some box notes over here. We're going to actually tear this open and look at it. This actually has a very interesting switch, which is a technically magnetic switch, but they've added a leaf inside to give you this, I guess, the feeling and maybe even somewhat of a sound signature of having an MX style keyboard, but using a leaf, which I think is quite unique. It's never, I don't know, like I was still looking at some of these beforehand and reading some other reviews. It seems like it's not 100% like an MX switch still. It still has a little bit of that like bassier note to it. But I think there is a slight bit of a feeling difference versus other HE stuff, or I guess Hall Effect if you want to call it. I know it's not technically Hall Effect. But very interesting, right? It's close, yeah. I guess the best way to tell is typing on it, right? So TMR is different from Hall Effect at its core. TMR uses, I mean, they both use magnets and they're both using sensors to measure things, but TMR is essentially more power efficient, which should give this board a lot better battery life, right? I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, I don't know if people are doing Hall Effect boards with crazy battery life right now. I know that some of the stuff that I've tested that's been like wireless has been nothing fantastic, like nothing that I'd say is like, oh, this is great. But we're gonna see for this one here. I mean, I think they're claiming this is something. I think they're saying this is like a few hundred hours from what I remember. Let's see if I can go find the note for what I wrote. Isn't TMR mainly you can use HE and MX? That's one of the other benefits for sure. We mentioned that at the beginning of the stream too. Like you can do both. But I mean, overall benefits for TMR are going to be better battery life, apparently. HE's come a long way too, Hall Effect has. And then also you can use MX switches, which is nice. But let me see something really quick. 10,000 milliamp battery. I don't know if they're giving us a complete quote here. I remember reading somewhere that it was a few hundred hours, but... Oh no, not a few hundred, rather. 12 hours. My mistake. 12 hours... I don't know. Like, would I use this keyboard in wireless mode for 12 hours? 12-hour max for max load. I don't know if that's also including like RGB on and stuff like that. I don't know all the stats of their battery life. It says work hours up to 12 hours max load. So I'm guessing that's like with everything on? Yeah, it's got to be with RGB. It's got to be. Let me check one more thing. Did they give me a little battery life thing here too? No, there's nothing here for it. Which also could be a little bit more of like something you'd want to look into as well, right? I think they mean all the RGB when they say full load. I'm guessing as well. Because I do remember, listen, maybe I'm misremembering. I do remembering I read some stat on some other stuff as well saying this was... Wait, what? Isn't that way too low? It does seem rather low. I'm guessing that's with like full on RGB. Yeah, I mean, this is quite the nice knob click here. Okay, I'm going to see how this actually feels when I'm typing. I just want to plug it in. And then I want to go through some of the accessories, and we'll do a little sound test here as well. Mr. Positivity.
I'm 4 years sober from buying keyboards, not including boards I've coerced my buds into having me build for them. Seems good.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? That's good, man. All right. Let's see how this sounds. So, the front bar is nice, right? I don't know how to change all these effects. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I guess we'll learn that here together, but... and by the way, this is to activate... Please make no breathing. So nice. Oh, okay. What happened? This is to activate the F keys here. So when you turn it off, they're not F keys. This actually looks good if it had better keycaps. I don't know how to switch it. I don't know. I'll learn here in a second. We'll go through some of this stuff here. We'll load it up. I definitely clicked something. Was it this? No. Anyways, we'll do it afterwards. Turn in the switch? What do you mean in the switch? Turn in the switch on... Wait, what? Turn in the switch on and press function. You get a third layer on the screen. Wait, what? Here? No, that's off. Turn on this... Wait, turn on the switch on, or turn the switch on and press function. I clicked function. I see two screens. All right, let's figure that out later. Let's see how this sounds. I mean, the alpha's not that bad. I actually don't mind the alphas. I think the spacebar is okay. This is interesting sounding with all the foams. I really don't mind this at all. Like in its stock configuration, this is quite nice. Ooh, get this. You can get this like really bright too. That's crazy. I like the shift key. I mean, yeah, it sounds good. Oh, here. This is how we do it. It's function with the arrows for the RGB. What kind of modes do we got here? I kind of just like the white. Oh, interesting. Cool. Very, very cool. All right. If you were to buy this in its stock configuration, I'd say you'd be pretty happy. And I saw someone mention, how would this, I guess, pan out for competitive gaming versus like other keyboards? Dude, I'm going to be real with you. I probably would not be very happy with this for competitive gaming. I don't think this would be comfortable in the long run. I have typed on for an extended period of times, roughly around, I think it was like a 13 degree keyboard. This is 12 degree, okay? So this is not very much different. I think in a long gaming session, tilting your wrists upwards like this is going to be very, very, very difficult. I think this might be better for someone who's a bit more into casual video games. You know? Casual has to be the only thing here. Like, I don't see someone using this for like long periods of time. So nice. When it comes to like very, very, very competitive stuff. Again, you know what? I understand why it has to be 12 degrees. For this little bar to work over here where you're switching it to the function layer, it has to be like this. But I think I would need to try typing on this. Again, it's been a while. For a few hours and see how I feel. Alex, you just got called up by Alex. Peak Gold Overwatch gamer giving gaming advice as well. I'm actually Diamond. First of all. Second of all, I'm very close to hitting, what's the one after that? Master? I'm actually almost hitting Master. Please? I bet you get carried. Big flex. I'm not getting carried, guys. Let's take this thing apart. I guess to sum up everything before we actually open this up, because I think there's going to be two different ways we have to look at this, right? A few different ways. At $190, if you never plan on opening this keyboard up and you're okay with a 12-degree typing angle, hell yeah. I would say pick this thing up, dude. Right away, I can tell you this whole body looks really high-end.
Watching
really,
from my
really,
cubicle,
really good.
If I get fired, it was worth it.
I hope you don't get fired, Jet. Thank you so much for the tier 1, man. Very well done. I think this case looks great. I mean, I'm not even going to complain about the few aesthetic choices here, like the Lofree logo, because they're removing that, and then also the Hyzen logo on the keycaps.
Bro hit us with the, actually I'm Diamond. Haha, love ya.
Thank you so much, Krabby. Love you, dude. Appreciate the tier 3, man. I don't know. I feel like there's not much really to complain about this. Everything works nicely. I like the F-row. Like, that's cool too. Like, that's dope. Wireless compatibility. I don't know the full capability of this battery, though. And that's kind of where I would want to know more. But this is cool, man. This is a really cool board. I think there's RGB on the blocker, too. I don't know what exactly gets that to work. Test it? I mean, we can test it. It might be a few days. Interesting. Now at $280, would I get this? You know, if this is off of the $190 price point for the early bird stuff. I mean, you know what? Considering this is technically TMR, which is kind of cutting edge right now, it's the cream of the crop stuff. Even at $290 or whatever the price point was, $280, $290, I don't think this is a bad deal. Getting a full board with keycap switches, PCB, case. I mean, for $190, this almost feels like a steal. It really does. I think Lofree really crushed it with this project. Damn. Well, let's go inside now and see if our opinion changes. Shall we, guys? Let's see if we can make this keyboard clacky. They were looking at changing the stabs. I don't think I have any issues with the stabs. Would you say that without the sponsorship? Yes. Guys, I've literally been sponsored to look at other boards and told you guys to not buy them, like the Nama. Why would I change my mind just for this? Why are y'all getting on my case on that? I don't understand. You'll need to add $30 for the wrist rest if you want to use the magnetic wrist rest. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a big wrist rest guy. So if you are into wrist rests, then I don't know. It's up to you. Alex, if you hit Masters on Overwatch, you gotta stream that shit. Do I? Is it worth doing? I should turn this off. Slap some cherry black and GMK keycaps and we're golden. Stream when? I don't believe it. I don't think I'm gonna do gaming streams, by the way. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Free. And that's why I said, if you are comfortable with 12 degrees, I have a feeling, let's keep it a buck. Even though I think on paper, so far, this keyboard is very nice. The 12 degree is going to be a deal breaker for some people. But clearly not enough people, because I think this keyboard has like $1.4 million in Kickstarter. So clearly people really like it. Yeah. Quick question, why are Phillips screws bad? They're not ideal. It's not that they're bad, they're just not ideal. So Phillips head screws, I think the original intent of Phillips head screws, correct me if I'm wrong, was essentially Phillips head was meant to be, I don't know the right word for this, but I think it was meant to like be shaved down when you go to screw it in so it didn't like have a chance to unscrew or something like that. Regardless, most Phillips head screws have a pretty darn high chance of stripping, which makes them super duper annoying on projects that you want to like go in and tinker with all the time. So maybe tamper proof. I don't remember the exact thing, but I remember reading that somewhere on the history of it. Alex, #1 Phillips hater? Absolutely, maybe. Well, I don't know. Okay, I think also, I want to not say that people are at fault for this. I don't want to say people aren't aware of 12 degree type angle. I don't think it's fair to say people will learn the hard way. Maybe people just have never tried it and they're willing to try it. You know, I don't think people are stupid. You know, like I don't think that's a, well, I mean, guys, I don't think it's nice or wise to call other people who are investing in their product stupid. The whole point is, I think people would need to, if they're not used to it, they'd need to be like educated, right? So that's what things like these are for, you know, like content and whatnot. Glare 60 is 11 degrees. Okay, put this back for a second. You came out. Anything over 9 degrees give me inflammation of the wrist. It is tough to type when it's past, for me, when it's past like 8 degrees, it becomes a little bit tough, for sure. Does anyone remember the angle of the DPO 104? I don't remember now. Nimbus, thank you so much for the tier 1.
Been a very long while and am sadly somewhat out of the keyboard community. But I've moved on to golf clubs and have made a career in club fitting and am managing a store, all before the age of 20. Just thought I'd swing by and see what the keyboard world is up to.
I mean, you picked a really interesting day to come swing by for that, Nimbus. And congratulations on all the success, dude. That's huge. Congrats, man. Today's a very interesting board, actually. I think today's board is really cool. Now, how do I get in here? Do I just unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Very interesting screw placements to get inside the board. Can't say I've seen anything like that before. And positive note, these are all what looks like to be hex screws and looks like all the same size. I get it, Hog. I mean, the switches feel fine. Actually, what I want to do today is I want to swap out the foams and leave the switches in and see how it sounds without that. I feel like today's going to be maybe a bit more of a lengthy stream, but I know it seems like it wouldn't be because we're just typing on a pre-assembled board. Alex, why does Saturn have a perfect hexagon in the North Pole? I have no clue. And it's north by, I don't know. What bit is this? Not one, but two spacebar screws. Not sure if that has any effects with the mounting. Probably not. There we go. This is the right bit. What is this screwdriver set? This screwdriver set is the Geon screwdriver set. They're magnetic screws too. Wow. Okay, Lofree. Okay, okay. Oh, this one here's not doing it. Hello? Does this one here want to come out now? Non-checks Geon? Yeah, that's the one. Typing angle of the board is 12 degree. So it is quite darn high. You're stuck hard diamond because you don't use a wrist rest? Oh, never mind. So this is two-piece. So why do they keep saying single piece of aluminum? Why is that like part of their marketing here? I thought maybe this was just to get like another piece off. Do they just mean the top piece? How the hell do I take this out now? It's one piece cut into two. Is this... Before I rip anything out here. One piece mentioned. Ribbon cable, my least favorite thing in the world. Let's see, let's see. They put a piece of tape over this one here, which is annoying to see. And then this one, I might have to get some tweezers. There's some stuff I don't like on the internals. I'll tell you that much. I don't think they want you to open this thing up. So, okay. A few things about the internals. They've put a little piece of, I'm guessing, let me just take the screws out. Some sort of electrical tape right over here. They've made it difficult to remove this particular piece. See that? So right away, like maybe there's a good reason why this is here, but you know, in terms of opening this up, which it clearly is a case you can open, they've already added some friction to the user. Not a big fan of that. And you can see they've also done it here too, maybe just to protect some connections. But a bit of a pain in the ass. But you know, they left this one here just doing its own thing, which is interesting. We do have some foam that's not adhered to the back of the PCB. Congrats, Lofree. You're like one of the few people to do that these days. But I don't know what they did here. They've added... This is a dumb idea. Okay, I gotta say, this is a stupid one. They've added an adhesive piece so that you can't even get to the batteries without removing this. And I don't know if this is supposed to be some sort of like anti-tamper thing for the batteries, but this is a little ridiculous, to be honest with you. It is a sheet of paper of some sort. You can see the adhesive on it. You know, some feedback here for them. If this is supposed to be some sort of like warranty void, just like don't do that. Other feedback, if this is supposed to be some protective layer, then I would maybe figure out a better way to install this. This is the only ribbon cable. Oh my god. This is the only ribbon cable connection that's not blocked off, so you do have to use a pair of tweezers to get it in there. Yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say. can't say I'm a fan. I don't know how I feel about this, other than I think this is a little bit, well, not a little bit. I think this is definitely ridiculous. Let me take a breather on this before I tear this open. Remove it? We'll see. Let me do my thing, guys, before everyone shouts out things to do here. Let me do my thing. So we have a piece of foam. Oh yeah, we forgot to look at the other accessories, but we'll do that afterwards. And then we have a gasket. So you know what? This is nice. Other than that one gasket point on the bottom, which we can just remove. Oh wait, no, never mind. There's one cable we gotta get rid of here. And then another cable here. I guess this is for all the LEDs. Oh, no, this is not nice. We got to remove some more stuff here. Now we should be good to remove it. Again, I'm doing, and I want to make this clear, guys. Like, I understand people are going to have different thoughts and stuff from me here. I'm someone who opens up keyboards, and I look for things like user experience. I look for things like how easy is it to mod something? You know, if a case can be opened, I want to see like how easy and self-explanatory it is. Did the makers do that here? I would say for the most part, this is not ideal, but I don't think it's out of the realm of something I don't like. Oh, interesting. Hold on a sec. Oh. So this is why it's not customizable. Essentially, smart idea actually. Essentially, that F key and also the other bindings are just two LEDs that indicate what layer row you're on and then shine through this piece. Which now makes a little bit more sense price point wise. For some reason in my head, I thought that might have been some sort of like low resolution screen. But it is a set indication of things. But I will say, pretty smart way to keep the price down on the keyboard. For $190, I am not upset about this. I would say it's pretty smart. Pretty smart indeed. So we do have some removable gaskets here if you did want to remove some stuff. I think they're removable. They look like it. Yep, they are. So you can remove them. They're even branded with the word Lofree. And then we have some foam in between the case. And then we also have this blocker that I guess is set on the PCB. Or I guess the plate assembly. Interesting. And you can see this is using hot swap sockets. So if you guys did want to change this out for normal switches, you can. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Feels more like a closed product than a lab board. I feel like this is a interesting mix of both. I'm not going to write it off as just like you're not supposed to open this. I feel like there is maybe an intent to open this because it's not like it's uber difficult to do this. But I guess next up, I kind of want to look at the inside of this. Alex, have you ever experienced a spacebar with delay from a solder PCB? Do you mean delay in when you click it to when it registers on the screen, or delay on that, like it actuates delay? From past experience, I personally don't open boards with knobs and such, at least if I can help it. You know, I will say though, the knob here doesn't seem to be an issue because it's on its own little layer in PCB on the back. So none of this really seems to be like super duper difficult. I don't think it's don't open, but I really don't think they anticipate people to open it. You know, I kind of have a different theory behind that though. I agree. I don't think people are meant to open this board or gonna open this board. But I almost feel like if you're going to do TMR or something like this, where it's a bit hybrid, where you can put in a whole bunch of different switches and whatnot, and probably the demographic clearly is people who don't give a shit. And want the board, and don't give a shit about it opening, rather. But I feel like if you're going to add like hot swap sockets, all this stuff, you should be able to open up the keyboard for proper installation of things. But again, I probably are in the minority here talking about this. There's no reason to make these solder though. Yeah, but the problem is, it's not so much making it solder, right? The problem is how many people have we seen in our side of the hobby damage sockets? No, there's nothing to support it for foam though, Adam. Don't forget, the sockets are not being covered by foam here. So that's my thing. Just in case someone watches this and don't understand what I'm saying. Let's take a step back and I'll explain here, because I feel like maybe this is a bit more, I have to explain. When you're building a keyboard, even though it's hot swap, the proper way to install things would be to open things up, which to get to that point there and, not taking this off the top frame isn't that difficult. Support the sockets with either your finger or just laying it flat on something solid. That way, these sockets on the bottom, these black sockets I guess technically these particular switches also have pins, but anything with pins, they don't rip the sockets off. Usually you can kind of get away with having a piece of foam under your keyboard, but the foam in this particular keyboard has cutouts for those sockets, so still nothing supporting those. Again, on our side of the hobby, the more custom side, and also even working for novel keys, as well as working with a bunch of different brands, the amount of times I have been told, we had more people break sockets, and even just building keyboards and stuff, is incredibly, incredibly annoying. And it comes down to people not properly supporting their sockets. That's all. That's really it. Like, it really comes down to one thing. It's, you don't realize a switch pin's not 100%, and then you go from there and break things. But anyways, I'm getting into the weeds of things here, but I think it's also important to have some sort of like repairability and, easy way to access your keyboard or product that you buy. And I hope that's a fair way of looking at things. If it's not, then feel free and disagree, but in all likelihood, it is a fairly low, or the risk is fairly low, but if you don't want to run the risk of damaging a PCB, when the solution is easy to avoid. Agreed. I've never done this. LOL, over 200 boards built. Seems like a very low chance. Well, I don't know what to say. I've seen plenty of people damage PCB sockets. At 1.2, I think I had to make... Well, not had to. I was asked to make some content regarding proper installation of stuff on hot swap sockets. Brands don't put the effort to inform people of the info, just give it to people. I guess so. I don't know. Again, if you guys can disagree with me, but personally, I think there is still some validity to opening up your keyboard and supporting the sockets. Yeah, it definitely depends on the switches you use too. All right. Have you ever had a car accident? No, then why do you wear a seatbelt? Survivor bias. Oh, true. That's a really good way to put it. Very, very interesting way to put it for sure. How many screws? You need screws when it comes to this kind of stuff. In case anyone's also wondering, like, why are there so many screws in this board? This is TMR. It's using magnets to interact with these little sensors. Where are they? The sensors, these things. hard to see. Sorry, guys. My thumb shadows in the way. It's like a little sensor to the left of the socket there. You need to make sure the connection's like solid and not like wobbling around. So you do need, just kind of like Topper, or Topra rather, you need screws to make sure everything is 100%. If you're using the MX version of this, which you can use, then go for it. You can not put in the screws, but for these, I'd recommend using them. Oh, I see. Yeah, pretty simple explanation, you know. That's all. What's the advantage to this new Keeb tech? So TMR offers, I would say, like 2 main advantages. There might be some more obtuse ones that I'm not 100% aware of, but power efficiency is one. And then the other is technically, if you decide I'm not really someone who gives a crap about Hall effect, you can just install regular MX. And you're good to go. So if I really wanted to right now and I said I don't want to install these switches, I can go grab some cherry switches and pop them in here and the keyboard's going to work. Now, TMR is just the physical tech on this. I would say the more important tech about a lot of Hall effect stuff or magnetic keyboard stuff is how well does the software work, which we're going to see too after this. Can you mix and match and use MX and HE switches together? I saw some other people do it. I would have to see in person. I really don't know if I can do it right now. We'll have to see. I found some hot swap sockets, loose connections after time with some of my boards, so I have to take them apart and reassemble. That's why I always like to have a solder PCB for permanent builds. I'm with you, man. Solder has lots less problems down the road. So the software that is associated to the key know when you have TMR switches versus MX. We'll have to explore and find that out too. I'm actually not positive if the software will tell you anything. They have their own software for this, so Lofree has their own. I've heard, I don't know if it's changed, but I've heard for the software at the moment, it's kind of in between. Does Wooting, do you think Wooting would release TMR? I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they get on that train. I think the tech is really interesting. How far out normally do you schedule builds? Hypothetically, could I schedule Q4? Absolutely. Just send in a build request. Usually what I do is I just literally put you on like the upcoming, like I only ever have like 2 or 3 months out. But then I just, if you want something in Q4, I just keep you at the bottom of the list and just keep moving you down until you're ready. That's it. God damn, dude. Thank you, Squirrely. Appreciate the 10 tier ones. Actually, I forgot to put the little thing back up on the screen. Actually, guys, before we go any further, just so like I can listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think not today, but you know, I see some elements of it today. But I think in general, there's been a little bit of animosity or something. I don't know the right word I'm trying to find here. I know people are just having their fun, but it seems like some people are taking stuff a little bit more serious than others. And then people are kind of on different pages, and I have been noticing even in the Discord, you know, sometimes people get on each other's nerves and throats. Just calm down. Guys, we're all here to have fun. If someone's like trying to do something and trying to explain their opinion on something, it's fine. That's all. Just relax. You know? How many more before the giveaway, Chief? 30 more. It'll be $300 after Kickstarter. Not so smart then. I still think for $300, I probably wouldn't get it for $300. I'm gonna be real with you guys. But if you were really into this keyboard for $300, that's not that bad. I think for a CNC'd keyboard that has some like pretty nice tech in it, I'd say yeah, sure. Okay, I do want to remove all the foam. I want to see what this keyboard sounds like with no foam and no whatever all this stuff is in it. Oh shit, is this one here adhered down? It is, but I'm going to remove it anyways. Not really adhered down, just really, really pressed to the PCB. Hello, Alex in chat. Hi, RV. How you doing? Hi, Crummy.
Did Papa
Thank
say
you so much again, guys.
Is
Drew
it
and
the rule
Squirrely.
60?
No, there's no residue. I don't think that was... I mean, it has a little bit of an adhesive to it, but there's no residue or anything on the PCB. It's pretty clean. It just seems like one of those like low tack papers, maybe to keep it in place. Huh. You know, a small part of me wished we'd at least get the option for PCB mounted stabilizers, but it seems like we're only doing plate mounted. Not the end of the world though. I personally don't mind it. Would have liked to see the other option. Didn't say I did say thanks. Thanks Drew, thanks Squirrely. Thanks everybody. Maybe that's why they said they're changing stabs. Were they vague about the stabs though? Did they say they're changing stabs or they're changing it to screw, or I guess screw-ins? If they were vague about it, you know, I know I'm saying it, I wish there was other stabs. There's honestly nothing wrong with, I personally think there's not much wrong with using just some plate mounted stabs. If you know how to use stabs, like and tune them, you'll be in a good spot. So, oh, I forgot to put the blocker back here. I think you're fine. And can we stop with the ad thing? Can I be real with you guys? I've had a few people start doing that, and they actually think that I'm doing everything out of the ad thing now. And half the shit is, I know you guys just joking around, but I think other people are taking it super, super serious. Can we please stop? Blame Adam. It's both you guys. Poor Crummy. What happened to Crummy? Can you add plate stabs? What do you mean? Nothing is serious here, y'all? No, sometimes we're serious. Definitely people with no context might take it seriously. I've already had a few people. I'm going to be real with you guys. I've already had a few people be like, oh, I didn't realize this was ad. When it's about talking about a non-related product. And I'm like, but it's not an ad though. You notice Cheer? The Rum 60? Dude, can I tell you guys, I was editing one of my own videos. Let me tell you guys this, okay? I edited one of my own videos, okay? And I said in the video, room. The room I'm in or something like that. And I said it, and you guys started saying rum, and I did not say it, bro. In fact, tonight, I'm going to go find that clip and make it a little video and show you guys. Oh my god, dude. Are all the screws magnetic? I don't know if those are going to affect the keyboard at all. This is getting deep. Bro, you guys are just making things up. Absolutely making things up right now. The Back Rooms. I heard that's a movie now. I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, so I guess thought process so far on the keyboard. I probably will put GMK. And then we'll also try a few HMX switches or something. Maybe I can try some cherry switches. Thoughts on this board though so far? Looking at it from the Kickstarter pricing of 190 bucks, even with the few things that I don't like on the internals of the board, yeah, I still think this is a sick pickup for 190. But I do wish they had addressed some of this stuff. I think, you know what, actually, more than anything, the two things that I really don't like, I think having the ribbon cable have this little piece of tape on it, and again, I know this is to secure the connection and have that being the only thing, but I think truly, even maybe this is a non-issue if they just make this bottom piece not adhered to the, like this bottom paper, whatever this thing is. I think if they took that off, it would make the whole assembly a little bit easier. It looks like an FR4, yeah. Thoughts on pricing for GMK Burgundy? What's the pricing on it right now? I think it was high last I checked, right? Because Cannon Keys is running it, I believe. Fuck. 185 is crazy. Is it a big Omni type? Damn. Is it in stock? It's sold out? Oh, it's... I guess people didn't mind the pricing. Listen, dude, I don't think I'd pick up a GMK set for that much right now. Times are, be real, man, times are a little tough right now. I know everything else is going up in price too, and I get that with like a lot of things, but like, I'm probably not gonna get a set for 185 bucks. Right now, like the most I'm wanting to spend on keycaps, if I do, unless I love the set, but I think 150 is like kind of my max at the moment. You know, like, you know, if this was my very first keyboard and I wanted to make it like the best possible, sure, spend whatever amount of money you want. But as someone who's kind of in the hobby, I guess, like, I don't know, 185 is a tough pill to swallow. I didn't pull the trigger on Gorp either, because the Gorp extras, like the in-stock version of it, a little pricey, man. I couldn't justify it personally. I'm broke as shit right now. Just a couple of months ago, I could enjoy the hobby pretty well. Yeah, it feels like overnight everything went up really quick. Are you able to feel a tactile bump on the stock switches? No. Hold on. Are you sure they're... I don't remember them labeling this as tactile. Let me go see. I'm pretty positive that this is just a standard stem. You know what? Let me open one up. Let me see the inside of this. Let's see. Well, it's a leaf. But the tactility usually comes from the stem, no? Give me back this stem, stupid magnet. No, it's a linear technically. There's no bump on the stem. So when this actuates, where is it? How can I line this up nicely? I guess this is not a great way to do this. Like, you'll feel just the leaf, right? Sorry, my hands are really dry. I'm so sorry, guys. You don't have to look at it if you guys don't want to. You'll feel it. You'll feel the leaf a little bit. So you'll feel a little bit of that resistance, I guess, from it. But I don't think it's realistically like a true tactile. So, and I guess in essence, you can call it tactility if you really want. Pretty nice. Why is there a need for a switch to be both TMR and MX? Choices. I think that's really what it comes down to is if you want to use the TMR stuff or, you know, you want to use a Hall effect keyboard, then, you know, you can. But if you don't want to do it, then you also don't have to. Listen, I'm actually really, I kind of like that. I think having the choices between swapping both is freaking awesome. Aren't there already some keyboards that have EC/MX built on one PCB? I think that kind of tech is super cool. SWG Bulch? Which was that one? What do you think about the switches? I mean, they feel good in hand. I kind of want to hear it without all the foam. So, from the switch side, if that makes sense. Sorry, Tony. So you mean if I'd want to make... Can you explain to me again what you mean by that, Tony? My true didn't read? Oh yeah, why didn't I didn't even hear like the thing. I'm not trying to be negative here, but I really hope designers stop doing stuff with GMK and do SWG instead. Their prices are going out of hand. I don't know if GMK can help their prices though, given the state of the world. It's not necessarily GMK making like these big calls. Like, I'm not defending GMK. I have no ties or affiliations with them, so I don't think it's GMK making big calls like, yes, we need to up the prices by 20%. I think it's just literally how they manufacture stuff in Germany and the prices of things in Germany. You know, they're probably feeling it on their end a lot. But yeah, I mean, we're getting alternatives, and hey, you know, competition's great. I love GMK sets. I like the way they feel, like the way they sound. I gotta say though, SWG has been a, I don't want to say huge kick in the ass to like GMK, but dude, they're nailing it with their sets right now. They feel good and also sound good. They're still not quite GMK, but they're good, man. Kikobo are literally now the same price as GMK. Yeah, Kikobo right now is, listen, I think Kikobo's lost the plot. They used to be like the middle ground alternative. I don't know, man. Kikobo's really lost the plot now. SWG are coming out with some banger sets visually. Yeah, they have some good stuff coming out. And the quality's been really good too, more importantly, right? Let's screw these back in, I guess. There are other negative issues associated with having all manufacturers occur in China. Good to have vendors making products in different places around the world. I agree with that too. I'm not going to stop getting GMK sets that I want. But yeah, there has to be a limit to what I'm going to spend too, given like whatever income I make, you know? And I have my limits. You know, my limit is, like I told you guys, for me, it's like the 150, 160 mark. That's kind of what I want to spend on a keycap set that's really high end and not a penny further. It's rare that I want to do that. Usually I just wait till sales or something, right? But also I have sets already, so. The next move will be ripping the keycaps off my old Razer Huntsman. Ooh, what are you going to replace them with? Just GMK stuff or SWG stuff? My Kikobo spacebar is my best sounding one. You know, it's funny that you say that. I find Kikobo spacebars are not my faves, but I've heard some people say that they really like the sound of them. So everyone has different preferences. A little flat, little deep. Yeah, definitely has a sound signature that's unique to Kikobo. Very much preferences. Look at this guy when he can just ask Papa Mike to send him stuff. No, I can't. The only other profile that I like right now, there's two. I would say MT3 is still one of my favorites. However, MT3 is not fun to game on for me. And the only other reason I don't use MT3 is I hate the sound of MT3 keycaps. They are one of the most comfy profiles I've ever used. But my God, I cannot build a keyboard with them because I do not like the way they sound. Number two would be MTNU as an alternative to Cherry. MTNU has been fire to type on. I think it's the happy medium for MT3. Kind of has that nice sculpted scoop, you know, whatever you want to call it. But it is very nice. You know, I don't love Cat. I was trying really hard to get into Cat, but for me, Cat's not it these days. I'd do MT3 on a silent build for sure. But it would be a silent build, if I were to use MT3, a silent build only for the office. MTNU also sounds good with foamy builds too. Gotta say, it's kind of hot. All right. Love MT3. It fits my hand placement with the angles. Same with MTNU. Use MT3 for gaming and MTNU for work. Oh, really? You do MT3 for gaming? Wow. I'm an MTNU hater, but I saw an Agar with MTNU and it looks incredible. Do you hate it? Like, have you tried it? I feel like it would be hit and miss, though. I feel like not everyone's going to be into it. I just dropped a screw. Come back to me. I just want ABS MTNU. I wonder if they'd ever do that. I do not like the way it sounds or looks. To be fair, that is a valid concern. Everyone has different preferences, to be fair. Oh, there. Now, do I take off the bottom gasket? I kind of want to see if I do take it off. What happens? Okay. Let's see now. Oh man, I really just want to take this off. Okay, we'll do this last. If I decide to take this off, that'll be the final thing that I do. I kind of want to see what's underneath. Also, this is really cool too. How do they install this? So they got like a little diffuser that's built in and screwed into the bottom. That's cool too. All right. Let's put this back in now. Just take it off now. You know you want to? Yeah, I do want to. Okay. So reassembly shouldn't be that big of a pain in the ass. Just this one ribbon cable might be. All right, not that bad. Chat, I got a Neo 98 for work. Any switch recommendations for a work environment? Ooh. Hamu Heartbeats are still one of my fave silence switches, but there are some really good silence that have come out. I feel like a lot more of the modern silent switches have been fantastic. This is the one that goes in the bottom, and then this goes here. So far in the stream, I've decided to not cancel my Kickstarter. It's still all within tolerance. Yeah, you know, again, I'm kind of going at the extremes here, and I appreciate you for mentioning that, Alan. I'm really giving this like it's run for the money. But I think still at the price point they're asking for this board, it is still a very valid pickup. Yeah, the early bird pricing is fucking good. I don't know if my criticism obviously still stands with certain things, but like, I don't know truly how much I can sit here and be like, yeah, they could do better on this. Knowing too that they have such an aggressive price point. Obviously, I think all criticism is still good though. Like, see this? With all this like thing here, this little tape thing, this is a pain in the ass to get in. Not impossible, but still a pain in the ass. And that click. Let's see, does it turn on? Nope, didn't get something in there, which is probably this one here. I think it didn't get in all the way. Are you gonna pull out the notebook? I might. Oh man, I really hate this piece of the board. I might pull out the notebook, maybe. It might be notebook worthy towards the end. Tell you what though, this one ribbon cable is ridiculous. I feel like they could have done a pogo pin, or I guess they couldn't have because of power delivery. That would be a little tricky, I feel. All right, I think we got it that time. No, still nothing. Okay. Let's see, did I miss anything else here? Maybe this one here. It's not connecting properly. Alex, look at this masterpiece. See, dude, that looks sick. You know what? Blank keycaps are always kind of hot. I knew this one little ribbon cable would be my bane of my existence today. All right, we got that plugged in. This is plugged in here. Did I miss? I feel like I missed one cable somewhere. Let's see. No, I got them all. Okay. Let's see if I plug it back in here. It's always been a trap. Oh, it works. For some reason though, the wireless is not turning on right now. Gotta see what's going on there. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like it's this connection here. Did you get any comms at all from Scrubs? The only comms I got were that he is still trying to figure out stuff with an employee, essentially. So the answer is no, not really. No, that should be good. It should be... I'm not sure. All right, we'll figure this one here out later. Tell me the configurations of color in the Apex 60 that alexotos got. Oh, it's the... oh, geez. What's the colorway again called of that particular board? Okay. Screw this in now. Caledon, yeah, Celadon rather, Celadon. Pretty dope colorway of the board. All right. All right, so let me just make sure all the switches are actuating. We're good.
It's this new tech where instead of just voiding the warranty for opening the device, it just kills itself instead.
Can you imagine, dude? Okay, I kind of just want to hear what these keycaps sound like before I try some different ones. You know, it kind of sounds roughly the same as with the foam, no? I don't know. Roughly the same? Yeah, roughly the same. Lighter bit, less pop with the sheets. Yeah. And I'm curious too, like, let's try using a GMK set just for the sake of trying. I feel like we can really use anything here. Brighter than before. A smidge. That's the right one. Interesting. This might be a foam build here. Maybe. This is Kikobo, I think, right? Yeah, this is Kikobo bow. Or You can try one other thing here too, which is, because this is technically the stabs do need a little bit of work. You know what? Now that I'm typing on this a little bit more, I can definitely hear the stabs are not perfect. Let's see. Actually, let's grab a GMK set. Just so I know what I'm listening to here. One sec, guys. Question is, what set? Maybe no, it could be from this. Let's give it a go. I mean, if you're gonna do cherry with this, like or just a standard MX build, let's put on all the keycaps from a GMK set and see what this sounds like. Well, Jinchi, we don't know yet. Please, we really don't know yet. We haven't put the rest of the keycaps on. We got to do a full cherry switch with this board. Perhaps. We'll see when we put everything on. Shit, man, we gotta do a full cherry though. Cherry would be nice, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough prepped right now for cherry. Actually, ooh, I technically do, but I have to take them off another board that I have to return. So brighter than before, a little bit. One more screw. This goes here. I think HMX could be really cool too. Kikobo could also be interesting. Yeah, if we hit 50, I'll do a giveaway. So let me just unplug this for now. I'm just gonna cheat and use the other board here. I don't remember where everything goes. I also might put back in that optional gasket that goes underneath the spacebar. Gasket placement on this board is less than ideal, I'd say, from like my perspective, but still good. Oh, you're liking Pragmata? I'm gonna get the game when it goes on sale. I don't know if that's a full price game for me at the moment.
Why are we doing Noel instead of something like redacted SMH my head?
I don't know, I think Noel would look good on this. Redacted would look good too. Ain't nothing wrong with a little Redacted. Literally just showed my BF this set. Oh, Noel? It's a nice set. I think it's a really cute set. Have you been playing and paying attention to the Xian 70? Not really. Can you refresh or I guess catch me up on that board? What's it going to be about, or like what's it look like? The 7th, I think. One. Let's see this. Ooh, an FR. Ooh. The weight looks sick on this board. FRL TKL. Ooh, this does look nice, dude. Interesting colors they got too. Well, I guess the blue is really standoutish. But Aka, thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Dude, that's a nice looking board. I guess no, let's leave that off. The cherry lip is nice. Yeah, I mean the I have to take a look at all the design aspects of it, but dude, that looks crazy nice. This goes here. My fave layout, we've gotten some hits lately. Dude, we really have. I think there's been a few really banger FRL TKLs that have come out. Do the switches actually feel mechanical or more like HE? You know, it's hard to tell, right? Because like I'm hearing HE. Yeah, I would say, did I make these backwards? I would say they feel quite like an MX Switch, but not 100% of the way there. I would maybe like 70 or 80%. For some reason, it's just not. Hold on, I have an HE board right here. Where's my HE board? One sec. Yeah, I guess so. Definitely a little different. Maybe a bit more of that friction from the Leaf. Yeah. The Kafka's not in one piece right now. I was actually going to be doing those XVX whisper switches, but then I got asked to postpone the stream, so it is unfortunately not in one piece. Still don't need this right now. Is it tactile? No. It just has a leaf in it. So we'll go everything. We'll go over everything again here in a second. I think there's a lot to digest with this board. Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Like, this is such an interesting, different project. I don't think it's for everyone though. At least everyone here. I think there's definitely going to be some reasons why you may or may not pick something like this up. Oh, you're all good, dude. Don't even stress. The quality of your tools is awesome. Love that. Thank you. Try my best. Wonder when the Ori TKL is coming out. Didn't they already do an Ori TKL? Or do you mean like shipping? Or I thought those already shipped too. Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, dude, it does look good. HMX plus ABS could make my... Wait, my oven clack though? What? They just designed a new TKL? Oh. Interesting. I have to go look at what that one there is. Did you ever get to the bottom of why no bare bones TMR? I mean, okay, from what I've spoken to with everyone minerals, because like I've definitely, you know, been like to a designer, I've been like, hey man, like what you think about trying TMR for the first time? And then, you know, give them one of those like elbow nudges, you know? It seems like it's a little expensive to invest in and design for. It seems like that might be the main drawback. I don't know. Like, that's just what I've been told. But it could not be the reason. Maybe it's just hard to get your hands on this stuff. Maybe like the curve to getting these things like produced is a little bit weird, but I have, like I said, I have poked and prodded around about this for my own selfishness and curiosity as well. PBT fans, wait, what claim? Pardonnez-moi? It's my turn to make it? I think sorry, it was inspired by high-end audio. What? I just lost it. Where did the chat just go? Oh my gosh. I think Lofree mentioned the design was inspired by high-end audio / DAC amps, hence the big knobs and switches. I dig that. I definitely get that vibe too. If they were to tell me this was inspired by that, I'd say sure. Kind of does look like it. Yes, ooey gooey. Next week I will be. Very, very soon, my friend. Should be an interesting one to look at too. IO. Let me have another arrow key. I like the key. I like this keycaps. Give me bubblegum Hatsune Miku. I get the bubblegum for sure. Hatsune Miku. I never thought of. What am I missing? The short shift and the caps lock, right? And an escape key. Short shift. Where was that? I think I tossed that to the side, did I not? Short shift. The keycap set looks really nice. Great choice. Thank you. Oh shit, where's my short shift for this set? Oh. Short shift. You know what? Maybe I'll just throw in control and call it a day. I don't know where the shift is. Ah, fuck it. Let's just see with this. Do you prefer scooped or bars? Scooped for sure. Set ruined. Hey, what can you do, bro? What can you do? Noel was one of the very first GBs I joined back in the day. I think I picked this up way after. This was an aftermarket one I bought, I think, off of someone else. Does look good though. Okay, so this is GMK Noel. So, board installation with some different keycaps. Still looks good. It's a silver board with a nice little black accent on the top because of that little extra screen there, so can't even get mad at it. Let's see what this sounds like. I'm going to turn it off for now, just to have it off, but let's see. These are using the Lofree switches with a cherry spacebar. Actually, you know, I do want to see, does that work? Does it work like pretty seamless if I use... Okay, turn it on first. Yeah, you can just have MX and HE and it works. That's honestly, that feels so impressive to me. It's a hybrid PCB. Okay, I don't love the alphas right now because obviously they're not what I'm used to. The combination of parts right now is really putting a smile on my face though. Wow, that's so cool. So, oh man, that's so awesome. This is such a neat product then. I honestly don't even mind these alphas. You know what? Maybe I am overreacting a little bit. Huh. All right, so I want to talk about the board a little bit more. Damn, this is such a cool product. I think this is, man, if this, at the end of the day, if this wasn't a 12-degree typing angle, this would be such an interesting pickup. The only thing that's really holding me back, albeit obviously some internal things that I feel like aren't 100% up to what I prefer, is the 12-degree typing angle. I don't even mind the right side cable personally. Can we try with the cork mat? Of course. Let me get it. That's right here. But this is the only thing really holding back my recommendation. So here it is with the cork mat now. And if you guys just wanted to hear some of the alphas with some not, you know, I guess HMX switches, or not HMX rather, TMR or Hall Effect or whatever you want to call these. Let's grab some cherries. See what the cherries sound like. Got a whole bunch of cherries here, I think. Oh no, these are TTC switches. Let's just use the TTC switches. Same general idea-ish. What's the giant light bar behind you? Oh gosh, what brand is this from again? Godox, I believe? You can see the big difference between the alphas now, right? Huge difference in sound. Huge, huge, huge. Okay. Kind of want to play around with this a bit more. This is a cherry spacebar. Sounds different? Absolutely. Turn this off one more time so I'm not spamming random keys. Oh man, these what the hell? These are hard to get out. Do you have the wrist rest to try? No, I don't, unfortunately. So, let's talk about the board a bit more here. Just drop that. $190. You know, I kind of even just want to put back the OG switches on this. $190. I don't think I need the notebook for this because there's not a whole hell of a lot to really write down. I think Lofree has a banger product on their hands here. You know, some changes, which I wish they had sent to me, but I learned from you guys today. They are apparently going to get rid of the logo on the space bar and the logo, which is unclear if it's going to be the Hyzen logo on the back or the Lofree on the side or both, but some typography on the keyboard itself. The keyboard itself, for $190, which is its early bird pricing on Kickstarter, if you can get past the 12-degree type angle, and that's the key thing here, I don't think there's really anything like it on the market. To show you guys a few of the features which I think are quite neat. So, number one, we have this really interesting way to make the number row F keys by just using a toggle. And then on top of that, if you want to go into a different function layer, a different layer here, here are some controls for like the Mac, for example. Super interesting. I really do think this is good stuff here. I really like the inclusion of this. I think it's great for someone who maybe doesn't want to give up F keys, but also wants the format of like a 65 or just something smaller on the desk, if that makes sense. We have a volume rocker here on the back, which has a extremely satisfying click. And then we also have wireless, off, and cable mode. So depending on what you want to do here. The keycaps that come with the board, I mean, they're nice. They're like a frosted keycap. Honestly, I'd use these and be super happy probably if you were not going to modify the board. However, I think these are probably, what, a polycarbonate. Not my favorite outside of that. The texture on them is not smooth, like shiny, slippery smooth, but pretty darn smooth. Probably wouldn't love these for gaming, to be honest with you. I don't know. I also don't know how these would work in the long term, if these would get a little oily and then become a little bit discolored. Unsure, but they are neat. Neat for stock keycaps here. I think the switches are pretty standout for me too. I don't think these are a bad sounding magnet switch here. You know, the inclusion of the leaf is definitely something nice feeling wise. Although it doesn't do much for sound. I was really hoping maybe we can get some of that extra grit from the leaf itself hitting the stem. Not quite, but you can feel it. So
the bezels are thicker than my skull. Reminds me of the Logi Super Strike. Great innovation, but I don't like the product personally.
Totally fair, bro. Honestly, totally fair. The aesthetic of the board is really cool too. I think they killed it with the aesthetic. It looks dope. Like, I am very much into this. It looks modern. It looks like it has a tad of a futuristic build, you know? I like it. I like it a lot. It looks good. The internals, and this is where the board, for me, having now opened it up, the internals leave a few things to be desired. I don't quite like the fact that you can't take off that sheet without ripping off adhesive. You know, and maybe here in a second we're probably going to rip that off just because I'm curious what's underneath. I want to see what's underneath personally, for the sake of this review as well. But, you know, if you're ever in the need to, maybe something gets unplugged, or maybe you just need to go diagnose your own keyboard, you know, I don't know what they're using the adhesive for. I don't know if it's meant for something important. Swoo. Thank you, Swoo. Appreciate you, man, for a year being here, bro. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice. I know it's such a minor thing in the long run, but definitely a bit of an odd choice. All the other foams, I think, work well, and they complement each other quite nicely. In fact, if I'm going to rebuild this right now, I might actually include one more of the pieces of foam. The build itself isn't difficult. It is a little bit odd. Having to remove a bunch of ribbon cables, some of which have tape over it to, I guess, really ensure the connection's good, does feel a little bit anti-fluid for the build. You know, like it's not the most like 100% build experience board I've ever had in my entire life. Definitely not the worst. Getting some of those ribbon cables in if you have some dexterity issues, kind of like me, not my fave thing in the world, but it is what it is. Interesting experience opening this. Not the most difficult thing in the world, though. The hybrid PCB, TMR, huge selling point on this, too. It's not advertised as mod-friendly, but it's, you know, we kind of talked about this earlier. My thing is, you're going to have hot swap sockets, and there's no good way to support the socket within the keyboard, which it doesn't look like there is. I want there to be a way to easily disassemble this so I can properly install keyboard switches. The TMR PCB with the hybrid stuff, fantastic. Really cool. I'm going to actually look at the software here in a second as well. But so damn cool. I think they really killed this. You know, and again, take what I'm saying for like whatever you value, take it for what it's worth. If opening the keyboard up and tinkering is your cup of tea, then I wouldn't say this is the most tinkering friendly, but it's also not difficult. I would say it's kind of somewhere comfy in the middle. Everything else is super duper fucking cool, dude. Let me see. Where was that? Did they give me a firmware thing? I guess not. Oh, here. They did give me a firmware that they've asked me to do, but honestly, the keyboard seems fine for now. I'll play around with that when I can. Let me see. Is this the web tool here? Do I just put it into cable mode? Yes. Okay. Let me connect it and show you guys. This is like a beta version of the app, I guess. Oh, is it even in English? I don't know, actually. I don't see in English. You know, I don't know. Hold on a second, guys. I guess I can just translate it to English. Okay, here, I'll show you guys the screen. Does the hybrid actually work? I mean, right now I have an MX spacebar with HE, or I can't call it HE, but the magnetic switches for the other one. Here is the web app. Looks like it has everything that we'd probably want here. Key definition, advanced keys. I don't know if everything's going to be working 100%. It does seem a little bit slow to load, which I did read other people were also talking about too. We have some mode settings. Not sure what these are all for. Maybe just different switches. Block Windows key, which is interesting. Button testing, setup stuff. Doesn't look like the trigger settings are... Maybe we have to click this. Here. Mechanical and magnetic. So you can switch back and forth depending on the mode. Does the spacebar still work though? No. So, and I think, okay. Now, this makes a little bit more sense for what they're doing here. The mechanical version would work because these particular switches that they're selling it with, which I think are really nice, have pins. That's why they work in tandem with the MX stuff. If you did want to swap to the magnetic part and use all the features of the magnetic stuff, which has the triggers, you would need to install stuff with magnets. It doesn't work in tandem with MX. So it is technically one or the other, but I will say the stock switches are quite nice. I probably wouldn't feel the need to completely swap these out if you guys were buying it. Obviously preference. You could hate these switches, in which case they do have a little toggle button over here. I wonder if this toggle can be bound to anything. Interesting though. And then we have our trigger stuff over here. I kind of wish they made everything a little bit larger. Everything kind of seems small here. Interesting. Doesn't seem like it's that bad of a software either. God, I actually had this software so big it was covering my face. I'm sorry, guys. Very interesting. The RGB looks so nice with the keycaps. It does. Maybe it's just me, but I'm measuring solderable magnetic switches in PCB is kind of sick. I would love a plateless magnetic board for some reason. That'd be interesting for sure. Yeah, the software definitely, I mean, the webware here, I think needs some tuning. What I would probably do is make it so the words are a bit bigger. That's like number one. Kind of hard to do things here. Interesting though. You know, it's almost odd to see a pre-built gamer board focused with a 67 layout instead of a 68. I like it like this. It's fun. Already struggling with this one. I know. I am already struggling with one eye for sure. All right, though. I would personally say 190. Cool pickup. Obviously, you're getting a bit of a fixed layout too, which Chum just mentioned with the 7U. Cool pickup for 190. 280. I think for all the stuff you're getting inside the box, I know I mentioned this exact phrasing before, but yeah, why not? I really don't mind the F-row key. I think it looks pretty cool. I think that's like, to me, one of the selling points on why I'd get something like this. Have an F-row. Like when you're gaming, dude, I game a lot where I'm not using numbers and I'm using F keys. Like a lot of the games I play. So it is kind of cool having those. Obviously, you can just bind those into a different layer on a VIA compatible keyboard, but having a toggle is super cool. Well, all right. Fun stream. Fun product to look at. Lofree's definitely hitting the right notes here. I'm going to tear off that thing inside now. Let's open this up one more time. When using HE mode, does it still feel like a mechanical switch? Yes, that won't change at all. It does. It's not like the leaves disappear, right? That won't change at all in the slightest. You're still going to have that like leaf tactility, if you want to call it that. Fun board, wouldn't type on it. Yeah, the 12-degree typing angle's the only real major drawback of this board. I want to say like bit of a shame they decided to go with that, but also like I guess to each their own. Oh, if this was like a 7-degree type angle, this would have been a no-brainer pickup for me, man. Absolutely no-brainer pickup. I still recommend it though. It's a fun product for sure. There's a fidget toy toggle, if you think about it. If you can get that to unbind to something, then for sure you can fidget with it. The block's sides profile looks like it's coming out of the desk. Yeah, it's a fun side profile too, for sure. Absolutely. Gonna have one major drawback. It'll be too good otherwise, joking. Yeah, it's gotta have the one thing, right? It's gotta, or else it just wouldn't be a thing. Let's see. Look at all the screws. Okay. You know what? Let's just take the tape off here. I feel like this one here is probably easier to tackle. Although that tape is really difficult to get off. Fuck it. You should buy the wrist rest. Then, yeah, without it, I don't think I would use it. Yeah, you also have to like wrist rests too. Don't forget. Wrist rests are not for everybody. All right, let's see what's underneath this sheet. Why do this? I just don't get it. Why put the adhesive on the bottom here? You know, if anything, what they could have done is just put like... I have another idea. What they could have done is they could have just put a piece of polycarbonate, like really thin piece of acrylic or polycarbonate, and had it screw into the bottom. There's tons of places where a screw can go into. Rather than just put this like sheet. If they really wanted to protect the battery from like being punctured by something. I think the adhesive's like tacky, man. I don't even want to peel this off all the way. But there's the daughter board there inside this plastic chamber, which this is a cool idea. And the batteries do plug in, they're not soldered, which is also a good sign to see as well. My only thing though, chum, is like, if this was just a daughter board area, then sure. But this is where batteries are. If you want to replace these, you're going to have to peel these off. So eventually, if something happens to these batteries, you got to access this area. I think that's kind of where I'm like, you know, like scratching my head about. Because now it also leaves all this residue on the bottom of the board. I don't know. Yeah, and this is a quite a big piece of aluminum too, so it's not like it's small. I don't know. Bit of an odd decision to be made there. I'll provide them some feedback for sure. All right, well, kind of want, you know, we'll do one last thing here. Put the bottom foam on. Kind of curious. Some things are better left unknown. I know, for sure. Did it go? Was it this way? No. That way. I'm guessing. Yeah. Just gotta plug this in first, I guess. Even if it's just that foam, why not do the adhesive? Yeah, I know. For real. Like I said, I'm not even too sure, to be honest with you. Really not all that positive. I guess I'll just put this in first here, and then we'll put the foam down. It's like a, I don't know. It's like a sheet of some sort. I really couldn't put a finger on what exactly this is supposed to be. Some things are indeed probably left better unopened, but it's okay. Pandora's box. Screw here gets magnetized to the side. Got some of that pop back already with one foam. Yeah, I think one foam might be a fun choice here to use. For sure. That adhesive, I hope they change it. I mean, if Neoboards can do it properly, I don't see why they can't. Yeah, I'm going to provide them some feedback on that. You know, maybe the one piece of foam you kind of need underneath to give it some depth. Because, I mean, this sounds really fucking good without it. With the one foam now. Let's put the rest of these keycaps back on. I know we do have the cherry spacebar still, but I'll swap it out here for the other one too. Let's see what it sounds like now. I can't tell. I need to go back and watch the stream and listen to both. I don't mind this though at all. This is quite nice too. Does this defeat other boards in the custom space in terms of sound for what I like? Probably not, but I think this is perfectly fine. Interesting. Very interesting. Cool. Stream's still going. We're about to finish. So yeah. And I think that's the end of the stream here though. Lofree definitely has an interesting product on their hands. I don't know. What did you guys think of the end? Did you guys like it? As a trend of recent HE boards sounding better, where does this rank in your opinion? I think the flexibility puts this at like top 5 for sure. I really like the flexibility of this TMR PCB, and it's not like TMR stuff has been super duper common in the space. So I think just based off that one thing alone, and I have to hand it to Lofree, even though I have a lot to say about some of the internal choices here, I still think this looks and feels like a great product. Like once you put this together, this legitimately looks like $1,000. I would probably put this in like the top space. I don't know what I'd put it in yet, simply because the only thing holding this back from even being number 1, because this could have probably been number 1 if it didn't have 12-degree typing angle. And then also, like I said, internal problems too. No, not problems, but stuff inside that I'm just not a big fan of. But yeah, definitely somewhere in the top. It looks like a custom. Sort of builds like one, not really, but sort of. And has some really cool tech to boot with an insane price point. Is the 12-degree typing angle really a problem? I'm not going to say it's not a problem, man. But like, I've typed on boards like that. It's tough. It's tough on the long term. In fact, I'll even give this a go tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to play some games tonight, but I was thinking about playing some Diablo like before bed. I'll plug this in. I'll see how Diablo feels for like an hour. It has been a few years since I've done a higher typing angle board, but we'll see. Do you think this hybrid thing will evolve, like more switches or more enthusiast boards? You know what I think this board will do? I think the success, because this has already hit $1 million+ on Kickstarter. I think the success of this will show companies that people don't want the standard gamer garbage design. And I say that with all the love in my heart, but yes, it is lazy sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I think people clearly want something that's a bit more modern, with good specs on the inside too. And I'm thinking maybe that'll kind of push TMR into like a bracket into hopefully, you know, what more people want. And it already seems like it's going that way. So I was ordered like number 500 or something. Really? Damn. I still think you'll like the board Technic. Like, I don't think you're going to hate it. If you're not a professional gamer, like in gaming for, 2 or 3 hours plus every single night, then maybe your wrist will be fine on this, but good for them. Yeah, good for them for sure. Backer number 1,200 plus. Yeah, like I said, I'll give the board its fair shot here outside of this. I'm thinking I actually might make a follow-up video on this. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right, let's plug this in and go find someone to raid. Put some G on Raws? We could. Alrighty, let's see who's online to raid. Thanks so much. Anytime, man, anytime. Yes, the 7th will be that board. I'm excited. Let's go raid Mikey. We appreciate you. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys Sunday. We're doing another build then. I'll probably do the tofu pad on Sunday as well, so I'll see you guys there. Have a good night, everybody, and love you. Bye.